Hi everyone. So today's video is about when you become vegan and you look around you and you lose faith in humanity. It happens. So how do you reconcile the belief that people are decent with the evidence that people are committing or perpetuating harm to animals and to the planet and to themselves? It's really hard. It's one of the things about veganism that I think is a real side benefit, that you have to become hyper tolerant and hyper understanding of what other people are like. And for all the stereotype of vegans is that we're intolerant. It takes a lot to exist in a society. It takes a lot of tolerance to exist in a society where you are constantly sickened by the unthinking perpetuation of harm that everyone around you is committing, and you have to accept it and be okay in that society. It's such a tightrope to walk. And I'm always impressed that we can all do that. It always reminds me, and this is I'm going to do a video just about this, the comparison between veganism and slavery, because that obviously is very you probably notice that that's a very offensive one for lots of people. But I always think, when slavery was legal in whatever country, what was it like to be an abolitionist? How would it have felt to live there with your neighbours that own slaves and you're dead set against it? I imagine it'd feel a similar way. So to me the comparison between slavery and veganism is perfectly valid. Living with that knowledge, the burden of knowledge that people are doing things that you recognise as harmful, and they can't see it that way, they can't perceive it that way, is so hard. And we do, I suppose, become stronger. And one thing I've found about being vegan is that it's really given me more sympathy, understanding of what it must feel like to be Christian, that I didn't have before. Being an atheist all my life, I could never really relate to the feeling that a Christian must have, that all his friends are going to go to hell. That must be, if you believed in hell and heaven, thinking your friends or your loved ones are going to go to hell because they don't believe what you believe, must be really distressing. And it must be so frustrating for Christians to see their friends or loved ones just nonchalantly disregard this, like, to them very real threat that they're going to be roasting in the fires of hell forever. Yeah, so now I can at least understand a little bit of where they're coming from. Suppose, like I say, veganism is a belief system. So I wouldn't call it a religion. In that a religion I would define as an organised belief system with like long-standing and very entrenched rules that can't be individually adapted. It is a belief system, and that everything that humans have is a belief system. Having in days of the week is a belief system. Those days, they aren't like facts of the world, facts of nature. We've established a rule of days and weeks and timekeeping that we all live by. It's a game that we're playing. It's a belief system, and it depends how you define the word. But everything we do is a belief system. Certainly, veganism is a belief system. In terms of a resolution to the subject of losing faith in humanity, I think what I do is remember that you were not a vegan at one point and you changed. And so knowing that you as an individual, knowing that an individual can change, you can become optimistic, or keep your optimism. That if one person can change, everyone can change. It's possible. And I remember, keeping the truth about animal harm quite consciously, off my radar before I was vegan. I didn't want to hear about animal harm. So, how could I then now, as a vegan, be dismissive and judgmental about non-vegans because I was in exactly the same position that they are now in? So reconciling the two, your desire to believe humans are inherently good or capable of good. Obviously your friends and loved ones are good people. You know, they care about other people, they care about you, and they care about animals as far as, you know, in their worldview, it's appropriate to do so. They care about, you know, if there was harm to a dog, I'm sure most people would, you know, be opposed to it in a relatable way. So, you know that objectively they are caring people, and I think most people are caring, loving, compassionate people. So I hope this video was of some value to you. I hope you enjoyed it. Because I won't. Just because I won't. So remember that. Cheers, guys. Take care of yourselves.